As we saw in the previous module, there are a number of tools that can be used to import and export data. The data import-export framework especially does better than other tools in some of the areas. DIXF bridges the capabilities of SQL Server integration services with the rich metadata and business logic of AX to provide a highly performant data import-export tool. The data import-export framework is also able to import and export entities where the structure of the data format and the destination data format are different. By allowing users to configure the mapping between the source and the destination, DIXF is able to migrate data to and from a wide variety of systems without writing additional code. Its ability to support data sources such as files, ODBC connections such as SQL Server databases, Excel files, and other AX systems make it an especially great tool for data migration scenarios where you need to migrate large amounts of data periodically from external systems. Let's look at the architecture of the data import-export framework and how it works. There are essentially three components that make up the data import-export framework: the client, the AOS, and the SQL Server integration services components. The client components enable you to configure entities, specify mapping between source and target, schedule the import or export of data via processing groups, and perform general administration and configuration of the data import-export framework. The AOS component allows the data import-export framework to communicate with SQL Server integration services to trigger the data import or export operation. The SQL Server integration services server is responsible for performing the actual import or export operation. The DIXF service also runs on the server. When a DIXF performs the import and export operation, it reads data from a file or the external data source into the staging tables within the AX SQL Server, and then afterwards triggers the AOS triggers the import of data from the staging table to the final destination table. All of the import and export operations are done in terms of entities. There are over 150 entities that you can use directly for the import and export. Additionally, the framework is highly extensible, allowing you to create custom entities for the import and export of data. These custom entities can be based on standard tables within AX or even custom tables that are part of your solution.